morning, traders. Welcome to the TMT Stock Market Strategy video for Monday, May 9th. It's going to be an interesting week and an interesting May for that matter. Sell in May, go away. Is that going to be the case? We shall see. As we all know, it is just a saying, but we do have the probability of happening sell in May, go away quite often. So it really shouldn't be ignored. Not that you want to change your portfolio, but wait for the price action. Let the market tell you what to do before you actually start making any hard adjustments in your portfolio or trading account. Friday, we had non-farm payroll numbers come out. They were dismal. I think it was 160 versus 200. And market sold off pretty hard, but then rallied. And rightfully so. We had technical patterns that were calling for a small pop. Now, this pop is going to be interesting, all right? This market, little rally, this retracement rally right now, for now only. And then we need to see some follow-through Monday and Tuesday. But we did get a little bit of a move up, and it was kind of late in the day to really do much of anything. We did had a double test at the bottom of the lows, Globex lows, and then we started to kind of just slightly just kind of grind higher, thin to win, if you will. And markets rallied because they're anticipating now that we are not going to get a rate cut anymore for the rest of the year. And, look, we don't want to anticipate what the Fed's going to do. We want to react what they're going to do. So that's really what it comes down to me. But nonetheless, I wouldn't doubt that they would have rallied it because of the fact they're probably thinking they're going to be holding off on rates for the rest of the year. I don't think so. I think that their backs against the wall. They're going to have to raise rates. We have commodity inflation across the board, and either they're going to talk it down or the dollar's going to pop. And I'm going to go over that with you tonight. I have a lot to go over, but I wanted to go over some bunch of gold charts. I'm going to put a separate video out on that. A special edition video on gold, only because we don't have enough time for a short video like this. But anyway, let's go right into it. McClellan Oscillator, you guys know I really watch this closely. And every time we get a bounce, a close below our Bollinger Bands, okay, same thing with the reverse, we get either a pullback or we get a nice big rally. And we did so on Thursday. Friday, we closed back in it, giving us a buy signal to equities. So I do suspect some follow-through where, at least to the mean, 0, 20, 30. But most importantly, let me get rid of that, is that there's plenty of room to run to the upside. So why am I so anxious about talking about the upside? Well, I do think that the bigger move will be down instead of up. I do see a lot, and I do go over a lot of media, newspapers, over the weekend and during the week rather, and to see what the sentiment is. And we still have a very bullish bias, which is obviously reverse. If you're a contrarian, then you would think to the downside. However, I've seen a lot of talking of tops of late. So I think it's a little too easy, and we mentioned that before about getting just short the market right away. Now we're down about 5 or 6 days off the highs, off the recent rally anyway, for that 9-week rally from the February lows. So I am thinking that we're going to rally at least one more time, and that's going to create the best shorting opportunity of 2016, okay? I'm going to show that to you in a moment, and I want to show you why. We have very low volatility. Here's your average true range, 18 and change. And what happens every time you have a low volatility, what happens? We get a market sell-off. We get an ATR rise, okay? Very important to look at, okay? Same thing, low volatility, bam, we get a big sell-off. Low volatility, question mark, I believe we go up, and I do believe this goes lower. End the story, guys. You cannot deny that, and that's repetitive patterns and history, okay? Now, let me show you the VIX, and I'm looking at the VXX. You'll look cleaner. Same thing here with the VIX. At its lows, we had a bullish fallen wedge. We did get a bullish fallen wedge breakout, but sometimes we do get a retest, which we're getting now, or a move back into the wedge one more time, okay? And if you could see here, we really didn't get 5 waves. You can count them. I've tried every different way. You really need 5 waves in a bullish fallen wedge to confirm it. So maybe this becomes the 5th wave down and then a big explosion move up. You have to watch the VIX, guys. You cannot not watch the VIX if you're an active trader or even a swing trader or investor. Watch what the VXX, the VIX does. It's going to be a big sign to see if we're going to rally or we're going to sell off. Now, again, I think we push lower. And I think gold will go lower as well while the market starts to rally, okay? Now, this will hinder on what the dollar does, all right? Now, I want to show you this. This is really interesting. You could say that there's a bunch of things that's kind of confusing. We could say that we have, a double top, an M formation, right? right? Which is perfect because we do have that lower right side. And then here's your neckline, right? Perfect. We could say that. Or can we say we have a descending triangle, which is also bearish, right? Or can we say that we have a beautiful bull flag pattern, a very massive weekly bull flag pattern, and we're going to rally back up into here, and that would be probably it. And then the dollar sells off. Not sure. Okay, that is the canary in the coal mine. I'm not sure. There's so many different patterns here. We have two bearish patterns on a weekly. We have one bullish pattern, a very big bullish weekly pattern. So we need to watch this closely. Why? Because if the dollar starts to rally, okay, and even if we get a dead cat bounce, it's going to significantly put a pin in that bubble of gold and precious metals and the grains and commodities itself across the board. Okay, we could even just rally to the 50-day here, and it would definitely set a big sell-off in the commodities, especially precious metals like gold and silver, okay, and palladium and platinum. So that's what I'm watching here, okay, and I don't know. I really, on the daily chart, I did call this, and I did say, well, look for a bounce, and I put out a video, and we did get it. But I'm talking about just a little bit longer term out, several weeks from now. Now, this wedge needs to play out again, all right? And this is what I'm looking at. So here you can count the waves a little bit more. You got A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then bam. Is that the blast off? That's what I'm watching, okay? And if that happens, you know, maybe we just didn't get enough. We didn't get really the 5 waves we needed, so it broke down a little bit, and now it's starting to rally back up again. But we do have the 20-day moving average above it. So this is what I'm watching closely. Now remember, if you can identify a corrective technical view of the dollar, you will definitely call what gold is going to do. And that's inversely correlated, no doubt about it, okay? So just watch that closely. All right, let's go to the indexes now. So I mentioned, you know, what is going on here. Well, you know, look, we did talk about the massive resistance and a lot of supply up above. We did talk about that November, December longs have got caught. And then now we got guys that bought down here in February, ran them all the way up. So you got three types of sellers. You got the February lows, you got November, December, 2015 buyers, and then you got the short sellers that are all looking to sell at one point in time. And then you got the Dodd-Frank data. Let's not talk about that when there's really no true support in the markets. Nobody, a lot of the banks can't support their stocks anymore and go trade, which I think is crazy, insane. But again, that's just another topic. You can see that we're starting to roll over on MACD and RSI. But we are getting a little bit, very, very slightly. You could see the RSI starting to curl up just a little bit. All right? Still needs a lot of work. We did catch that 50, which is okay. Now, also, can we look at this as a bull flag? Right? Can we look at that as a bull flag pattern? It's possible. It's definitely possible. Now, here's what I'm seeing. On the bigger time frame, let's open this up a little bit so we can really kind of identify. All right, now, here's the daily spiders, all right? What I'm thinking here is, and again, trying to look out further, I think we have a possible head and shoulders brewing here. Now, is that your right shoulder in the making? Could be, guys. Look, if we go into this, into a nice big bear flag pattern, and then they start to sell them, and bam, and here's your neckline right here. So this could be in the making, a nice big head and shoulders pattern, which we would take out that neckline, then at 200. You know, you're looking at easy, you know, 1800, and really 18180 on the spiders, 1800 really would need to be taken out to get a real full-fledged sell-off. But that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at right shoulder, possible right shoulder, head, possible head and shoulders in the making, and that would kind of bode well from what I'm seeing, and I'll show you why on the other charts. If you remember, I called the head and shoulders pattern here on the 60-minute, and we had the objective target met right down here. It was met on Friday. And what happened? Then also on Thursday, I said, guys, I'm looking at bullish fallen wedge patterns on all of the indexes. And sure enough, it played out, but it played out very, very late in the day to really capitalize on that, for me anyway, because I don't like chasing anything. But look at this. We had a big pop. Maybe we get a little more follow-through, and then maybe a higher low, and then bam, we go up to that right shoulder, okay, on the daily chart, like I just mentioned, and then we really start to capitulate. So it would not surprise me if we rally. Let me show you just what I'm talking about. Here's the IWM Russell 2000 ETF, plain just price. You could see Every one of these. Q's has it. The diamonds have it. IWM, as you know, and then of course the spiders. Okay, they all have these bullish falling wedge patterns. So to me, it looks like we get a couple of days, 2-3 day rally, and then we look to reevaluate our technical view. Okay, IWM daily, you could see. Now again, caught the 50 and we bounce, which is fine, and it's also a decent little move. Diamonds caught the 50 and bounce. Okay, and look what's happening. We're building the same structure, repetitive pattern, right? Head, left shoulder, possible right shoulder, and and I look at that. I view that as a question mark because at this time, I don't know. I really don't know. But to anticipate something like that, let me just. I was going to write that, but to anticipate that, that would be ideal. And look at the daily chart of the Qs. Qs a little bit has really been kind of battered down, so you're not going to really see that. But exactly what I'm saying. Even if we rally back up to the you can see the confluence of moving average resistance. You got the 20, the 50, and the 200 here. So we rally up to here, maybe pierce it, and then boom, sell off. So I am looking for, okay, pending no news, overnight sessions or any breaking news. I'm looking possibly for a 2 or 3 day rally, maybe even for the week for that matter, with chop, of course, maybe a down day here and there, but moving up, and then probably in the next couple of weeks, which would conclude earnings season, would put us right into the tail end, right into the middle of May, and then I think that would conclude this dead cat bounce, this bear rally that we've had, and I do believe this is just a bear rally, and I think we move lower, guys. There's nothing good out there. Yeah, so I would like to see you guys protect your portfolios accordingly, okay? So that's what I'm looking at. I know it's a little long video, but it is Monday. I always put them out a little bit more. So I hope it helps, and have a great trading day today. We'll see you tomorrow.